cash some of this in, but always remember that you have the right, when you are a call option owner, you have the right, but not the obligation to buy the stock. So in this whole trade, this is another thing that's just very compelling about this. It's hard to explain to someone that is not familiar with options. We have never, in this particular trade so far, for her, this unicorn trade, she hasn't touched one share of Apple. And in fact, if she would have spent the $10,000 on Apple stock itself, and if Apple stock was like 160 at the time, $160 a share, and it was around there, right? 160, 170, 165, whatever. How many shares can you buy on Apple? Let's go do it. If you put $10,000, divided it by, let's do 165. You could have bought 60 shares of Apple, and on margin, you could buy 120 shares. That's where the broker, right? You buy 60, the broker buys 60. How much? What did I say? It was 10,000 divided by 165, 60. Okay, so like you could buy 121 shares of Apple. So 121 shares at 165, and that's, you can really buy 60, but on margin, you know, that'd be aggressive way to do it. But 121 shares. Well, 121 shares at 312 is 121 at 312. If you don't mind me doing this, because I think it's 121 times 312. That would be $37,000. So you would turn your 10, the 10K would turn into 37K. Hey, not bad. But look what the 10K turned into buying the 240 calls. It 10 times it. So I know we've got chicken scratch going on up here, but here's the important point. Coming back to the fact that if you own the right to buy 5,000 shares of Apple, that's what 50 contracts is, right? You could do it on all of it if you want, or on a portion of it. You could call your broker and say, hey, the 5,000 shares, yeah. Hey, I'd like, out of this, I'm going to sell 30 of these. We're just going to get a big, huge cash chunk there. And then I'm going to turn around with some of that capital. And I would like to buy, because I have the right to do so, I would like to buy 2,000 shares of Apple at 240. Why? Because I have the right to do it. And I want to exercise my right. And what happens here is we have Apple at 312. You have to have capital, right? You have to have the money to buy 2,000 shares of Apple at 240. But by doing a partial in a trade like this, you'll have the cash to do it. And by the way, could you buy Apple on margin at 240? Look at the cushion you have in Apple. So you have all this cushion in Apple, because Apple's worth 312. I've got these phone notifications. I just want to make sure no one's trying to text me or call me saying, hey, we can't hear you. Looks like we're good. Okay. So the other part of this exercising 2,000 or 20 contracts of your 5,000, or exercising them all or whatever, is you bought the right to buy Apple. And then guess what you did? You bought it. So there's not a taxable transaction when you exercise your call options. because you bought the right to buy something and then you bought it. You didn't buy it and sell it. You bought the right to buy something and you simply freaking bought it. And Apple pays a dividend that's all killer. I mean, it's not, it's like 1.5% because the stock is just taken off so much. The dividend yield used to be a little bigger when Apple was half its size here.